Whoa, I'm live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fish room. Got lots to talk about. I got in trouble for being a crazy fish person. I was with Vibes Aquatics. I think he did spend more than me. So we out of time for sure. Um, so yeah, I've got a list of everything that I bought. Um, I have since put them all in tanks. Let me see if I can setting front camera, back camera. All right, there we go. Comments. 3G, good looking out. Okay, so this is working. All right, guys. I got these 4 tanks from a young lady that was getting out of the hobby, and it turns out, part of the Greater Austin Aquarium Society. So it was wonderful. I shared a lot with the boys, but just been basically taking care of these planted tanks that I got from her. And I got a bunch of fish yesterday. And everybody seems to be doing all right. I have some odd pairings. Um, and probably a fish that I won't keep. There is a baby Mbuna in here. That is probably the most alarming news that I have. Um, got some Sedontics cats. So everybody's quarantining in these tanks. So there were already some coolie loaches in here. And they were jumping around this morning. I got 4 paradise fish. I'm worried about them attacking and killing each other. However, they are all on super friendly terms right now, and everything seems to be okay. There's one guy you'll see right down there at the bottom. He's got a forked tail and he's got a forked tip to his other. So I'm watching him, making sure that he doesn't have some sort of a fin disease or whether he's getting picked on. But like I said, I haven't seen any aggression. I've seen some snails eaten by the coolie loach and whatnot. We have moved some snails to a more snail friendly environment that we wanted to keep, but now I have a ram's horn cull tank. We'll see if they can get through the ram's horn shell or not. These were more pest snails, but I did see a couple of ram's horn snails down on the bottom. But even the paradise fish were interested in the snails and attacking them when they came out of their shell. So I think that this is just a snail-free environment, which is interesting because duckweed and snails all the time in my fish room. Muppet, great to see you. I still don't know. I guess I would have to open YouTube, maybe on another device. And would I be able to log in and make people mods? Like, could I use my phone to do that? Question mark. Anybody, please let me know. But yeah, these paradise fish, right? So amazing. So I got This was a beta tank, and I just added this piece of wood in front of the tank. I put brown bristle noses in here, and I think I got like 4 or 5. So I probably need to bring that down a little bit and watch for aggression. But this is all for quarantine. Okay, so Muppet says it has to be done on YouTube. That's good to know. But yeah, I got a bunch of bristle noses. So there's brown ones in here. And then in this one, there's super red, a super red calico. And that is a Limia looking at us. Here's my mess on the floor. He's awake. You're famous, dude. Tell everybody about it. Hi. So these are Limias. I think there's like 5 of those. And then I put the super reds in here. And oh my goodness, look at it from the back. He's so sneaky. There he is. So yeah, everybody's really happy and healthy right now. There is a cave underneath that, so I'm sure somebody's up in that top part making themselves nice and snug. And there they are. Those are purple Hawaiians. I bought those, a trio, 1 male, 2 females. And then I bought a trio of blue Hawaiians. And she said she got them directly from Bentley. So, you know me, if I'm at an auction and they mention a YouTuber, all of a sudden I want those fish real bad. So I went crazy, y'all. It's pretty bad. But there you go. There's the female. And oh, that is the new male right there. It's kind of a mosaic pattern on the one that I got from Danikin, from Danikin Aquatics. But this guy has black on his edge. And he's back there, and the fry is still alive. So this colony's doing good. I put three albino plecos in here, possibly 5. There's definitely 6 of these lemons in with the other 2 lemons that I had from Aquashella Dallas. So they're all going to quarantine together, and those guys have already been on quarantine. So those guys were pretty much fine. But basically, got to wait for them to sex it out and move them so that there's a pair in a tank, in a community tank. So that's my plan. There's my wild berry. Never mind, he's gone. So that's what I've got going on. So let me talk about this stocking. Thank you, Sculpt, for being here. So the stocking list is as far as I was bad. I came home and I was like, look, I know I'm in trouble. So I've grounded myself for fear of getting consequences that were worse. So I will be staying in and hanging out with all these guys while everybody is at the Clash. So remember, there's a bunch of us out here not going to the Clash. So please say hello or take a picture or something. You know what I mean? And like say hi to us, all of us out here on the internet every once in a while during the weekend. I think it'll be fun to like watch different snapshots of everything and see some live shows. I know that's the plan. So, stocking list: box fern and Java moss. I told my wife I wasn't buying any plants. Um, and yeah, so that was another thing that I did wrong. But I got 6 lemon bristlenose, the 3 purple mosaics, the 3 blue. Oh wait, the 3 purple Moscow and the blue Hawaiian Moscow. I got 3 of those, and then I've got 3 super red, and then I've got 2 super reds. So there's 5 super reds. I got the Lemia fasciata. Okay, so there's 6 brown bristle noses in this tank down here. I got 3 albino bristles. That's right. So that is what is in the tank with the blue guppies. Then I got 22 baby rosy barbs, and I got 6 rosy barbs. So 28 rosy barbs now reside in this beautiful tank and are doing swimmingly. And there is 1 emerald rasbora that was still alive, and he's doing well. And that is 1 of them. And no, so there's 2. There might be 3. The boys were counting 3. I've never counted 3, but that right there is a Demonsoni. So that's an Mbuna. So he has to go. But he's peaceful right now. But yeah, it was a really interesting packet I got. It was the 22 baby rosy barbs, the Demonsoni, and 3 albino bristle nose, all in the same bag. It was like a bonus fish pack, and I couldn't resist. So that's what I did. So yeah, I spent $200. My wife was like, "Let's not spend a lot of money this weekend." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, like I'm just going to get a couple things." And yeah, so I did bad. But I will be forgiven, and as long as I keep these guys alive. So in here is like 5 coolie loaches and these paradise fish and 3 Synodontis catfish. Let's see if we can spot one. Where is he? There he is. He's behind there. There's a couple of them. Whoop, 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 whoop. They're on the back. They've been just playing in the flow of that water like all day. And before I turned the lights on, the coolie loaches were just jumping all around the tank, going left and right across the bottom, like jumping up to the surface and coming back down. Like it was very confusing. They were just like, every time I go to hide in a spot, there's somebody there that wasn't there before. So they've been freaking out. But yeah, I'm really liking the way these guys group together and hang out. Everybody's been eating. There's a couple that I haven't seen eat yet, but I've seen like one of their kind eat. So I think things are fairly good. So I added a bunch of stock to all 4 of these tanks that's on this stand. So I know that I am going to pretty much be doing a fish in cycle. And I'll probably need to do water changes like maybe every couple days, and use water stabilizer when something is ticked up. So that's good. These 2 tanks I added fish to, but I took out like a big handful of ram's horns. 2 in the case of this tank over here. So while I will be testing the water several times a week for this one, I am more confident about this tank being able to handle the load. So with 28 little bitty fish in this one, with the types of plants I got in there, do you guys think that I'm going to be changing more than once a week just because of the really high stocking level? That's a question I have. I mean, I'll figure it out as time goes on, and I'll change the water if it dictates it. But I was like, what is someone with more experiences like gut feelings about it? Hey kids. I'm gonna sit over here in front of this tank. I like this tank a lot. First thing I wanted to do when I got it was put that skull, that diving helmet on top of the sponge filter. So yeah, this is all in a 20-gallon tank here. I know I didn't say the tank sizes. So the 2 on the bottom are 10s, and the 2 up top are 20 gallons. All right, Eakins, I like your gut feeling on that. So yeah, as these barbs grow up and these bristle noses like announce their intentions for more room and wanting to fight anybody who is not giving them that room, I will move them out. I'm setting up more tanks. I eventually want to keep shrimp in them, but I think that I will move these guys around and put bristle noses everywhere and wait like 3 months before I start putting any shrimp in them, so that way those tanks are nice and seasoned. So they'll be set up for shrimp, but they'll have bristle noses for 3 months, and some of these rosy barbs, just to help everything be. And then I've got to get them all out of there. But I'm planning on epiphytes and small pots for things in the shrimp tank, so that way I can take each plant out. Like the epiphytes will be on lava rock or something like that, and that way I can move it out of the tank when I need to do like a count or a cull or something like that. And I'm planning on the shrimp tanks being 20-gallon longs to start. Yeah, Muppet. And I'm on the beginning end of this. Like, I'm a pandemic like hobbyist. You know what I mean? Like, I kept the turtle and stuff as a kid, but I remember knowing that I needed to put the chlorinator in there, but I don't ever remember learning about like the cycle like in like 83. Because like I'm an old dude. So my fish keeping like really began like during the pandemic when I needed a rabbit hole to go down. And I've always liked water. And I needed a road to go down because I needed to stay inside, and I'm a social person. So I used to go out like all the time, you know what I mean? Like hang out with friends and stuff like that. So I'm new to this how you say introverted suited hobby, you know what I mean? But I make it work by getting together with you guys and hanging out and chat and stuff like that. So I'm always like hanging out in front of my tanks a lot when I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm also old and I go to bed early, so a lot of times I'm like laying down, and as soon as I can't follow the chat anymore, or sometimes I fall asleep and the chat's still going, and then my battery's dead in the morning because it just stayed on that last screen. But yeah, I needed to find something to do with myself at home, and I cleaned my garage. My garage was like 4+ years of like Amazon boxes, like, and all the junk that we didn't like unpack like when we moved in here like 8 years previous. So um for me, like setting up a fish room and like putting the temperature stuff in there and getting the insulation put in and everything, and like making that investment, it really was like moving mountains for myself. Like me, like 4 years ago, if you told me I'd be doing this right now, I would not believe you. You know what I mean? And that's just because the thought hadn't entered my mind yet. You know what I mean? I'm like, no way. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, I don't think so, man. And you're like, no, dude, I'm from the future and I'm telling you what you did. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I wouldn't have believed you. If I see the nitrates are creeping up faster during the week, then I can look into frequent water changes. Okay. So while I'm doing this, I should not put fertilizer in. I've been putting fertilizer in once a week into these planted tanks, just the one squirt of like Easy Green, which has a bunch of nitrate in it and stuff like that. Should I just starve the plants just a sec so that I can see how the tank reacts to it, or should I just keep doing everything as normal? Okay, Muppet, I can probably do that actually. I can plug it into my alarm clock. Yeah, Eakins, I got a mini split, dude. Like that was another like one of those like my wife is awesome. Like I was like, yeah, it's gonna be 2 grand, not 4 grand, because I'm gonna put it in myself. And she's like, what? And I was like, I'm gonna get Nate to come down and help me. And my lights just turned off over there. I'm gonna get my buddy Nate to come up here and help me. And he does like air design and control and stuff like that. And she's known him as long as she's known me. And she was like, okay, you can do it. You know what I mean? But like it wasn't on my merits, which I'm gonna do a video about. Oh my gosh, I just love them. Just zip, zip, zip. Yeah, but I've never had these like red lotus things before. Like they're all over the place, and there's a baby I'm trying to float the right way that came loose again. But yeah, she had some really nice tanks, and I took them off her hands and took all of her like consumables, like like medication, uh, a whole bunch of different foods. She definitely tried all the different foods and stuff like that. And I split them up with me and my crew, and the boys were so excited. They were really happy, and one of them got a small siphon out of it, and they were really happy with that. So it was just really neat, and they still use the filters on their hang on backs. And I had replacement cartridges. I had a big bag of replacement cartridges, and they all took the ones that they had for that size. And I was like, this is awesome. I only have like, I don't know, like maybe like 6 or 7 items that I'm going to like send to the Goodwill. You know what I mean? Just like don't need it. But like I'm also sitting on heaters and I've never bought a heater in my life. So I think all the heaters are 2 years old. I have one that I was going to test because that was an empty tank, but I never did. So I'll just take it out now. But yeah, I'm good on everything in here. It's like 79 degrees in here. I think it's like 73 on the full floor, 76 for this tank, and actually all those tanks on the bottom there, and then 78 um on the two top tanks there. Yeah, I'm just using the co-op ferts right now, Atkins. I've looked at the Nylon G and that seems pretty cool. And that might be more important when I get some more specialized tanks when I'm doing some Caradina and stuff like that, and I start having to build my water a little bit. But I think I might also need like some more tests and stuff like that because I don't know about my phosphate like at all, like whether I've got too much or too little. I mean, like I know there's calcium because uh all my water's from a limestone aquifer, so that makes sense. If it came through the ground on the way here, it came through limestone. But yeah, I don't know. When I had it all in my head and everything, I was like, when I got back last night, before all the fish were put away, I was, uh, my wife was disapproving of the amount that I bought. I was stressing about possibly getting them all together in some semblance of order, but those paradise fish seem really docile right now. So I guess everything's okay. They were bagged separately when they were sold. And I was like, oh, that's, but yeah, if you read online, like they are aggressive. So I think it's going to be fine because I think they're going to get aggravated with the Synodontis catfish, which the Synodontis catfish were, it said that they were compatible with them. And but the coolie loaches as well, like I've seen them like kind of snap at the coolie loaches, and like the coolie loach is too quick. He like gets out of the way. He's like, not today, you know what I mean? So I think the gourami might get grumpy at the boisterousness of the Synodontis cats and the coolie loaches, but only when they're out and goofing off, you know what I mean? So I think there'll be some yelling at neighbors and stuff like that, but the paradise fish don't appear to be going after themselves. I can't believe what like great colors I'm getting off of the plants. Really love this tank. And like I said, I didn't design this or plant any of this. This was all somebody else's hard work. Excuse me. All right, I think it's time I know, right? I'm loving that lily. Like they're so beautiful. And there was maybe it's floating in this top of this one. I think it is. Did it sink? Oh no, I pulled it out up here. Didn't I? But yeah, this is all Mars Sprite that I pulled out. needle leaf Java fern, maybe. No, it was this tank. I just don't know where it is. Okay, so let me settle down before I make everybody sick. So as soon as I put up that beta hide on the top, one of the paradise fish like swam through it and was checking it out. So, but you see, like I'm watching them for aggression and like they just want to be near each other. I guess they're just still figuring it out. But that's got to hide. I collected a bunch of the I stirred this tank up quite severely a little while ago, about 45 minutes ago. And was going through all the extra plants, but I grabbed all of the Java moss and Susquehanna tang and put it back on top of that tree because I assume that's where it all was before, because there was already a bunch of it like in the little tree on top of the cave. And so I just balled it all up. So Siswasser Tang held together with Java moss, I think, or Christmas moss. I still can't tell the difference. But let me show you the from the side angle here. Look at that. It's a big old cave under there. Big old cave with a coolie loach in it. What you doing, buddy? I'm coolie loaching. And then there's another hide there. I couldn't figure out whether this thing was hollow or whether it had a thing on the side. It was facing towards the back there, so I couldn't see into it. I like to have all the openings kind of facing the edge of a tank so that I can shine a flashlight in there, see what's going on. Yeah, I know, man. That cave is like super. But yeah, just like when I took all the water out of the tank, I think that this big ball just like fell out. And then the coolie loaches, of course, were loving it. And wherever you see snail shells, that's where a big bunch of it was. And you can still see there's some more. But everywhere you see, because like all the snail shells were out of the way and stuff like that. So it all got caught up uh, underneath the moss. But I've been enjoying this tank a whole lot as well. I mean, like I want to like take them and make them my own, but what have I done? I've had these like this might be week 3 with these tanks. So the first week I basically shifted everything, took it over here, set it up, and did like a 90% water change because I took as much water as I could out of it, and it was still too heavy to carry by myself. Uh, and then the next week I tested the water and like everything was good. The yeah, the KH the KH was a little bit lower than what my water normally is, and the pH was just a little bit. But I think that might have to do with this substrate that's in both of these tanks. I believe these substrates might be um doing something to the water parameters a little bit. I think it's like an aqua soil of some sort because it's real brown. If somebody wants to see what it looks like dry, I think I have a bag of identical. It looks more well, it looks more brown, like not on my screen. It's kind of washed out and looks more gray on my screen on the video than it actually is. So it's more like cocoa colored. And they're not like perfectly round. So it's some form of aqua soil. Merry Fishmas, Fish Fam Christmas. Are you Rico Stan or are you a bot? course, that's not a fair question to ask a name in chat, because anytime you say you're not a bot, everybody knows that's sus. You know, it's exactly what you would program a bot to say. So there's no way to answer that, Fish Fam Christmas. So I understand. But yeah, I started reading about these guys last night. Not something you're supposed to do. Supposed to research your fish first. But like I said, I got excited. There they are. They are using the tunnel. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh yeah. That's a nice. You like it? It's like, get that camera out of my face. But yeah, like one's been hanging off by himself, but he comes back around, and it was the bigger one this morning. But they just kind of hang out together, man. Like, I'm really happy about that, because my initial assessment through internet reading was making me very uncomfortable with the parameters I was having. But yeah, you see what I mean? Like that was like, I don't know, like they kissed or something, you know what I mean? And then like they backed away from each other, like, oh, pardon me, wait a minute, who are you again? You know what I mean? Like it didn't seem aggressive. But I'm worried about that guy's finish. And my wife was like, his fins weren't like that when he was in the bag. And I was like, yeah, but everybody's fins were clamped in the bag. So if the clamp fin, I don't think that I would notice. But they were very, very pale yesterday, like white. And as you can see, like the striping is pretty good on them, some more than others, but they are pretty good. That Mbuna in the other tank, the Demasoni, was very, very dark in color in the bag, and he was in there with like 25 other fish, mostly rosy barbs. So I would definitely say he was probably stressed in that situation, and he's much paler today, which makes me feel like he is more relaxed. But yeah, he's cute, but he's really, really little. And I was like, I don't have a tank set up for Mbuna. And like the advice the advice on the internet, you know what I mean, just to keep it simple is yeah, man, just keep all the Demasoni together. You know what I mean? Species only. Okay, one male and two females. There's four fish in here. Let me see if I can find you the fourth one. There's two. There's another one. So are the bigger ones the males, or are the bigger ones the females? There's the fourth one. Was somebody sweet and gave me four pairs, or did they give me like all males? So I think that's great. You're noticing that. So there's three. And this one's going down to be with the other one, and the other one's right there. So if these guys decide to pair up, that's when it'll be on, and I'll have to make some emergency arrangements. Okay, so the male has the big and long fins. Okay. That would be one. And that's the other one. And then the females, it's not as long and it doesn't have like a dotted pattern on the back of it. It's clear. But yeah, I put that beta tube in there and I was like, I think they might like that. And they like used it in the first 5 minutes. Might be all girls. That's fine too, man. Like, from what I understand, the males can be, well, I don't know. I can't even say. But yeah, I also bought like a bunch of books. I bought a bunch of I think I bought 2 packs of like the magazines for killifish. I'll make sure that my crew like has access to those. I'm just like, hey man, just bring that one back and take a different one when you want. And I bought a fish breeding book by Axelrod, volumes 1 through 4. Okay, so some of them are just colored up more than the other ones. It's really neat. Like it's just such a beautiful fish. I think I remember seeing it on the Aquatic Morning Show and stuff like that. And there were several of these lots. Uh I believe Vibes got a set of 4 of these. And his were all bagged together. So like I don't know whether they were from 2 different breeders or he was running low on bags or who knows. Or 2 different people were bagging fish. That's the other thing, right? The island of Cooley. There you go. Oh, I found it. There, it'll show up real good against this background. So it's become uprooted, and the bottom part is right there, but the leaves are all curled because it was upside down. So I need to get it to respond to the light again. This might not be the best tank for it. See if we can't get it to float upright for a little bit.
Spend some time in front of this guy.
So they've dug out a little pit, the Limia. Hold on. Comments. Later, Atkins. Get some sleep. Thank you for helping me out, bro. So the Limia are all down in the corner, and they dug themselves out a little pit. So this tank is just such a happy tank. It's very colorful. It's got glass beads in it, and I decided it would be best to put the brown bristle noses on this. Rude. It's almost like I'm in their face. But yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about today. I appreciate everybody coming by. I believe it might be time for I think they were going at 4:10, so I think we're about 10 minutes into Science Scout Aquatics. I'll see you guys over there. Thank you everyone, and I will talk to you later.